Today I want to talk about my Nikon Z6 II and how I use it for video. So what I want to do is take this and turn it into this. This is my Nikon Z6 II video travel rig. It's my travel rig because I can break this entire rig down and fit it into one backpack. I could take it on a plane, I could take it anywhere I'm going. It's small, it's portable, and it's super lightweight. So let's get into the build. This is a Nikon Z6 II, and the first thing we're gonna wanna do is add a cage to this. So I have this cage from Small Rig, and what we're gonna do is bolt it on to the camera. We've got two attachment points, the screw to the bottom and then the small screw to the side, which stops the camera from moving and twisting when it's in the cage. Now here's a base plate from Small Rig, and what I'm gonna do is I need to make a base plate sandwich. So essentially I need to make a receiver on the top to mount the camera to the base plate, and then I need to mount a plate on the bottom of this base plate to mount the whole rig to a tripod or a video head if needed. So starting with the top of the base plate, I'm going to mount this Small Rig quick release adapter. It's just the adapter without the plate. And what we're gonna do is just line this up. Now I need to mount a plate to the bottom of this base plate so that this entire unit can mount on top of a tripod. So here's another plate from Small Rig, and what's interesting about this one is it has these 4 legs that can pop out from the side. Now these 4 legs, what they're nice for is when you place it on a flat surface, it keeps the whole rig steady. So this will come into play when you're running around and shooting and you need to put the rig down just for a short period of time. You can pop these legs out and have them just hold your rig up. So I'm going to take this and mount it on the bottom here. Now our base plate sandwich is complete. Now what we need to do is get a base plate for our camera. And this is an Arca Swiss base plate, which will mount into the receiver we have on the top of our base plate sandwich. Now with this plate mounted, we can just easily side mount it into the top of the quick release plate. And there we go. We have our core unit of a rig looking good already. You've got these little legs so it can stand up on its own. And we have the Small Rig base plate that's ready for 15mm rods. These are 15mm rods from Small Rig. These are the carbon fiber versions. And the carbon fiber is nice to have because they're lightweight. So we're gonna put those in. The next thing we need to do after getting the rods in is to install our V-mount battery plate. Now this is the Small Rig version. This is a Small Rig V-mount battery plate adapter. And reason why I selected this is because it came with the 15mm rod mounts to the bottom of it. And it has 2 D-tap ports on either side. It has a 12-volt port and an 8-volt port, which is key because we're gonna need this 8-volt port to power our camera. And it has an on and off switch, power switch. So we're gonna mount this to the back. Now we have our V-mount battery plate mounted to the back. We are ready to get our battery. Here's a V-mount battery. This one's from ProMaster. This is a 95 watt-hour battery. And just keep in mind, the battery, once it's 99 watts or lower, you can take it in your carry-on onto a plane. So just keep that in mind if you're building a travel rig like I am. We're just gonna mount this V-mount battery to the back here. Just pops right in, and that's good to go for now. The next thing we need to get is a rosette clamp. This one's from Condor Blue, and this is needed because we're gonna mount one of our handles to this. So this is gonna pop on the front side of the rails. It's gonna slide right down. And then we're just going to tighten that. Now we need to get our lens. And the lens that I'm going to use today is the Nikon 35mm f1.8. So at this point, we are ready to get our Mattebox installed. So before we do that, I'm going to get a step-up ring for my lens. This is a 62mm to 77mm step-up ring. I'm going to mount that to the front of my lens. And then I'm going to get my variable neutral density filter. This is a VND filter. And what I'm going to do is mount this to the front side of my lens. And now we're ready for the Mattebox. This is a small rig, lightweight Mattebox. It's part number 2660. It comes with 4 adapters. We're gonna use a 77mm adapter and screw this onto the front of our VND filter here. Next, we're going to get our Mattebox mount. This is the mount that's gonna mount our Mattebox to the rails. This is also from Small Rig. And this one was made specifically for this Mattebox. So this Mattebox adapter is part 3411, and it was made for the small rig Mattebox part 2660. So what you're gonna do is take this mount adapter and flip the Mattebox upside down and take it and screw it in right to the bottom of this Mattebox. And then we're ready to mount the Mattebox to the front of the camera. Next thing we need to do is we need to get our handles mounted. So I'm gonna get this handle, this rosette handle from Condor Blue, and we're just gonna mount it to the side onto the rosette clamp that we installed before. For the next handle, this is the Nikon MC-N10. This handle is great because it gives me full control of the camera, so it allows me to extend the grip and also start and stop recording, activate my autofocus, and change my shutter speed, aperture, etc. I'm going to mount this on the right-hand side of the rig. To do that, I need this Small Rig rosette mount adapter, and I'm going to mount it to the right-hand side of the rig. Now there's just a thumb screw on the MC-10, which makes it just installing super fast and quick. Now you can see the rig is coming together, easy to handle, good grip angle, and very well balanced. Now the important part of any rig is a top handle. I have this Small Rig top handle, and it's going to mount on a NATO rail that's built into the top of the Nikon cage. So we're just going to slide this onto the top. Has a little tool built into the side of the handle. We're just going to use that tool to tighten it down. Now we've got our top handle installed. We want to do a few things. The first thing we need to do is get a monitor mounted to the top of the top handle. So it has a cold shoe receiver on the front, and I'm going to use that. in addition with this small rig hawk lock cold shoe mount adapter. Just gonna slide that on there, tighten that down. So this is the Atomos Ninja 5, and I have the male end of the hawk lock mounted to the bottom. And what this does is just pops right into the top. Now this monitor mount is a tilt and swivel. So it's very versatile when you're using it in multiple different shooting situations. On the back of my Atomos Ninja 5, I have the Atomos battery eliminator, and this has a DC barrel out to get power in there. So that's pretty important. And I also have this SSD caddy slid into the backside. On the front side, I have the Atom X sun hood adapter. And I like leaving this on the front of my Ninja 5 because it's a good way to protect the screen if the Ninja 5 were to fall face flat on a surface. And it's plastic, so it keeps the weight down. And I prefer this as an alternative to mounting a full cage, a full metal cage for the Ninja 5. This travel rig is supposed to be small and nimble, lightweight if possible. And I find that this little hood adapter is a perfect solution to keep on there for pretty much all the time. Speaking of the hood, here is the Atomos sun hood for the Ninja 5, and it's just the sun hood and how it mounts. It slides right into the slot. Give it in a little push, and then that's it. And then when you need to take it off, pops off. It's that easy. All right, so now what we're gonna do is something a little bit different. I do a lot of run and gun sort of shooting, and sometimes when I'm shooting sports, I'm on the sidelines and I need to do a quick interview right away. I like having a light on the camera. I figured the best light to have is a tube light. A light that was long and slender to give a really nice catch light, and something that can sort of wrap around a subject that's very close to the lens. So we're gonna mount this Nanette Pavotube to the top of our rig right here. So to do that, we're gonna take this 12-inch carbon fiber rod, we're gonna slide it through this hole in the front of the handle here. And we're just gonna line this up, make sure it's straight. There we go. Now I have these 15mm rod clamps to nader rail adapters. And on top of them, I have this Joby 1/4 hub. Now what this is gonna do is it's gonna slide right on the side, just like so. I'm gonna clamp that down. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Nanette Pavotube. It's just a thumb screw on the end of the Joby hub right here. You're gonna twist that, lock it into place. And then I have another clamp, the same version, 15mm rod to nader rail adapter with the Joby hub. The difference is I just have a cold shoe mounted to the top of this one, and that's where we're gonna mount our microphone. So I just have a screw in the bottom there to hold the Joby hub onto it. And what I'm gonna do is just put this on, screw in this end. Once that's screwed in there, we're gonna clamp that down. And there we go. It's coming together. We've got a rig. It's looking nice and nimble. Grip feels good, nice and balanced. I have the Rode video mic. We're just gonna mount this to the cold shoe. And this cable then just goes into the microphone input on the side of the Ninja 5. Next item for sound, this is the Rode Wireless Go. What I do is I mount this to the cold shoe on the top of the small rig cage. The first thing I'm going to do is get this installed. This is the power connector from Small Rig. This is essentially a dummy battery that goes into the camera and plugs into the 8-volt output on the battery plate. Now here we have our DC barrel with a thread connector and to a D-tap. This is from Alvin's cables. And what we're going to do is run this D-tap to power our Ninja 5. Time for a little bit of cable management. These are from a company called Sprig. They're little rubber quarter 20 clamps that can screw into any quarter 20 holes. So what I'm going to do with this one is just I'm going to pop it on to the power cable that's powering our monitor for the time being. I'm going to grab this HDMI cable. So this is a thin HDMI cable from Small Rig. It is a full-size HDMI to a mini HDMI. Hopefully this isn't too difficult for you to see, but if you can see right there, I have the Sprig mounted right on the inside of the cage, which keeps the cables tucked in very nicely and out of the way. Next, we need to connect our MC10 to a camera body, and the connection is via a USB-C cable. This is a thin one that I just got from my iPad. This is the rig complete. You've got the little legs right here that are nice. You could sit on any flat surface. You can just bring it up against your chest like this for stability. We can grab the top handle right here and we can turn the monitor to see any direction. 2 handles on either side gives good stability, and I love it. I think it's great. If you have any questions or comments about this rig and how I use it, just let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you're still watching here at the end, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And yeah, just like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more about me and my Nikon and what we do. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.